Hello, welcome back to my channel. So if you've seen the title, you know what this video is, and I skimmed some of these, but I haven't seen all of them, and so I don't know how this is gonna go. This is kind of like inviting you into my subconscious, which feels kind of weird to do on the internet, but at the same time, I just think it's interesting because interpretation of dreams can be so vast and different depending on who's interpreting them. And I think dreams are generally interesting because they are, like I said, a part of the subconscious that like talks to you when you're asleep. At least that's my belief. Maybe somebody else believes something different. Tell me in the comments. But at least that is my belief, and maybe I'll have like some interpretation of these, maybe I won't, maybe they won't make sense at all. I don't know. Just noticed that all my necklaces were all buried. Anyways, I don't remember why I thought about this video or like doing this at all, but I just figured maybe somebody thinks it's fun, and also maybe somebody that watches this video has like some insight into dream interpretation and knows more than I do, and therefore feel free to tell me in the comments what you think these mean, even though I'm a little bit afraid of what it might mean. But anyways, let's get into it. So the first one that I've written down is this month, and I didn't remember the dream. I remember writing this down. Most of these I don't even remember writing. It's kind of scary. But yeah, I remember writing this because it was a couple of days later. So the first one, I don't remember the full dream, but it seemed important enough to return to memory in parts days later. So I'll write some of it down now. I was at a bar in both the past and the future. There was a lot of back and forth about me not drinking now, but I used to back then. I had done something, or someone had done something, and I don't know what it was. There was passports involved, and I was stuck there, like being in an airport without a passport, not allowed to go back outside nor anywhere else. Also, I changed clothing, stature, and I was at one point rich and another point poor. That's all I remember. I remember the setting of that dream, but I don't remember like the specifics of it. I can see certain images and they changed. So it's like, it does remind me a little bit about the movie, what's it called? Terminal. But at the same time, it was very different. But the feeling of like, you gotta stay here until something was figured out. And I don't know what that was. And at times it looked like a very nice hotel, like in the lobby of a very massive hotel. And people were dressed really nicely. I put myself as dressed differently, but I don't remember if it was me or somebody else or just like the whole scene. You know how dreams are. It's kind of like a movie where there are scenes. But anyways, so it was nice and big at some points, and I was at the bar talking to the bartender, and we were like in some sort of dispute about my quote unquote passport or something like that is what I remember. And then at times it was like we were at a really old bar in like a shady part of town, and it was really like cheap in comparison, so how I remember it anyways. But there was still no way I could leave. Like I had to stay there. And like I said, like I used to drink and I don't now, which was the same in the dream. And it's like, why was I at a bar if I don't even drink? It was weird. I have no idea what this one means, except maybe coming to terms with like not drinking anymore. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But there is like one part of this that makes me feel kind of like we're all connected. And like, even though I sometimes speak very poorly of the person I used to be, and that I wouldn't like that person, I'm still capable of seeing other people in those situations and try to be at least somewhat empathetic because I know I didn't intend to be an asshole. It's just who I was, and I couldn't really do anything about it for some reason. It's hard to describe. Maybe this makes sense to you, maybe it doesn't. Either way, let's move on to the next dream. Oh, this one's fun. Well, it's sad because my cat died, but it was a fun dream and it was a fun thought. So I had a dream last night or this morning. Also, I filmed an entire video the night it happened, mostly for myself, but maybe at some point I will upload it, but I don't know. I'm not ready to like relive that day when that happened. So anyways, I had a dream last night or this morning that Snap, or Snowball as it's called in English, was my cat. Was walking on two legs. Hey baby, as I'm talking about one cat, another one appears. Hey. He was walking on two legs like it was normal. I guess my interpretation of that is I see him as human. Also, if I'm not mistaken, don't eat the plant, baby. Don't eat the plant. Don't eat the plant. I was him and he was me, and we switched bodies every other day. I thought that was really cool and fun. I liked it. It was a cool dream. It was a bit scary because it's like we were the same person, and he has been in a lot of my dreams, my cat. But it's like we were the same person, but one of us one day forgot that we were in the cat body and not the human body. And so we walked around on two legs. Yes, we did, baby, we did. Hey, I can't kiss you because I'm wearing makeup. I'll kiss you later, okay? Love you. Okay, let me see if I can get through a couple more before he, I don't know, makes me unable to do this. Oh, this one is kind of creepy. And then there's one where I just said I dreamt of white strawberries. Those white strawberries are just strawberries that haven't like gotten their color yet, so I don't know what that means. But this one is so creepy and weird, and I don't know what it means, but I'll read. Maybe I'll wait. If you want to put it in the comments. I'm gonna skip this one. It seems a bit personal. And then some of them are just like some stuff happened. It's like kind of, they don't make any sense. I'm just skipping them. I also have a lot of dreams about my deceased grandma. She's popped up here a couple of times that I'm skipping. And then, oh yeah, okay, so this dream I had last year, and it's connected to the dream that I didn't want to talk about right now, but if I do want to talk about it later, well, tell me if you want to hear it. If nobody cares, then why put myself through it? But so I think this dream is connected to a previous one. I wrote that down, but they happen in the wrong order. So just to preface this, in the other dream, I had a child, but I didn't know where it came from. So in this dream, I gave birth twice, not once, but twice. It was less painful than I thought and super quick. But at no time in the dream was I a mom. So it feels like the prequel to my dream where I had a baby, but no memory of giving birth. I just think it's weird. Like this happened almost like 6 months after the other dream. And I don't know what it means. Maybe it means I want to be a mom. Maybe, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. And it just says tornado dream again. I don't know what that means. I don't remember. Oh, but it just triggered a memory of a different dream that I had that I've had so many times. I'm in like a hotel. The hotel changes sometimes, but it's a similar dream, and they all kind of connect to this thing where it's like a portal. Like I go to a place, and in the previous one it was a bar. In some of them it's a hotel. Sometimes it's just like a subway station, but like really big. so it's impossible to figure out where to go. And yeah, and sometimes it's like this futuristic giant building that's like hotel-like because there are rooms and stuff, but it's mostly just massive amounts of either stairs or elevators. Sometimes the elevators are closed and you can't see anything, and other times they're open. It's just like this giant futuristic building. And well, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, but the feeling is still the same. It's either that I'm looking for someone or looking for something specific, or it's like I know I'm in a place in between actual places. Like I know it's not a real place. And in most of these dreams too, I wake up because I'm realizing that this isn't real. Like it doesn't make sense. Because it's just like, I don't know if you've seen Doctor Who, but it's like the void. It's like the place in between places. And I gotta figure out how to get to where I'm supposed to be. Okay, anyways, that was a tangent about some dreams I didn't even write down. Okay, oh, this one is so creepy. This was definitely a nightmare, but at the same time, and this is what happens in a lot of my dreams now, where I become aware that they don't make sense, and so they don't scare me. And I mean, it's good, but I don't know what they're supposed to like teach me. Anyways, this happened almost exactly 1 year ago. I had so many wacky dreams last night, but one in particular stands out. I was in my house, but it looked very different, and there was a clock on the wall, like the ones in classrooms. Also, I just remembered, if you're interested in like getting to know yourself better and figuring out what you need, or like what your soul needs, for lack of a different word, writing down your dreams can help you, because sometimes there's like a smidgen of, oh, that makes sense. And it is kind of like communicating with your subconscious, and in the subconscious is where most of the importance of ourselves lie, our fears and our worries, and yeah, I believe it can help. Especially in retrospect, it's maybe easier to see what it was, but sometimes even when you're going through something, it's hard to really pinpoint what you need to get through it, and subconscious can help you. Anyways, so I don't know what the clock represents, like the one in the classrooms. I mean, I do work as a teacher and I do see those clocks, so it could just be like what I'm used to seeing. Although I don't have any clocks in my house, and I don't wear a wrist clock except for my tattoo one. So it's a little bit weird. And time and visuals was off. And I mean in a way where it could have made sense that I was on some type of psychedelic, which is interesting because when like brain injuries or like certain things in the brain goes wrong, I don't remember which one it is. I just remember seeing an episode of something where they say you gotta like write down times on a clock in a circle, and if you can only see half, they know like specifically something's off. But it wasn't like that off. It was off as if, I don't remember it exactly. I just remember like, oh, I'm high in the dream. That's how it felt, like, okay, I'm on something. And that's the best way I can describe it. My hand would move on its own. That's also when I remember that in a dream that I looked down on my hand, and I was kind of creeped out at first, but I've been through so many weird things with my brain that I was just like, okay, I'm definitely on something, it felt like. And as I wrote down here, my hand would move on its own, not the hand, but the fingers. I would be trying to move them in one way, but they would just do something else. And I also noted down that I was at this point calm-ish, but panic was starting to set in. It got worse when I knew I had to go to the mailbox because my house was suddenly not in the spot it is in real life. I remember that was really creepy because kind of like most of these dreams, what's outside is really different. And I don't know if that stems from like my social anxiety or anxiety about like the world out there, that I feel very safe at home. Maybe that's what it is. But I had to go outside, and I don't know why in the dream I had to go to the mailbox, but I had to. And I don't feel like I even need to read this because I remember it being terrifying. It was a hill that was almost like straight down, and there were houses everywhere, but they looked super weird. Like they weren't from a different time or a different place. They were just like some creepy movie set type of houses. And they were all like orange and red, if I don't remember wrong. And I couldn't find the mailbox. And I climbed my way back up to the house and went inside. And the climbing to get back up, it was almost like climbing straight up. And my house also wasn't like on here and then like you could walk out, and then the hill was just like right outside my door. And I feel like I walked pretty far. It's weird that I sometimes can see like the setting of where I was in the dream, but I don't remember specifics. So it was a steep hill, and then there was like this long ass road. But if I imagine it being in reality, it makes no sense because it seemed so much further in the dream than anything I'm trying to visualize in real life. Like how dreams are, they don't make sense always. Anyways, I came back up, went inside. Things kept getting weirder. I was seeing time move slowly and then fast. My hand would have this residue or shadow-like appearance when I moved it. You know what I mean when it's like if you slow down time, you can see where the hand has been moved. It was like I could see that. Like where it had been seconds earlier and I could see it. It's like you're seeing the time where my hand is here and here at the same time. So you see every step it takes to get there. Which once again reminds me of like psychedelics. Oh, sorry about that. Let me get back. I moved a chair back where it was supposed to be. It's kind of weird that I'm that way in the dream and also in real life. If I have placed something where it doesn't really belong, I have like this need to put it back where it's supposed to be. And it's weird that it's supposed to be somewhere. It's just that that's how I organize things. So if something's off, I feel it very instantly. Once again, maybe it's related to my anxiety, who knows? But it gets creepier in the dream because I moved it back, but later it would be out of place again. Like I had been to a separate timeline because there was no one else there. Like there was nobody else that could move stuff around, and it happened very fast. Once again, like dreams are, it's like from one scene to the next, and you know specifically like, oh, I didn't move it because I was just there putting it back, and then I had to go and do it again. And it kept resetting and getting more and more distorted. I feel like there is a movie about whatever this is, and maybe I had seen some movie that played into my dream. That also happens. But I don't know. I also put in, I got to a point where I was really freaking out and thinking I should call my mom or 911. It's interesting that I'm thinking about calling mom or 911. And also, I don't even live in the country where 911 is the thing. So it's very strange that that's my go-to thought. But then I chose not to. And as I was picking up my phone, it was like I realized that this world was not real. And I slowly started to wake up. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. That's what happens a lot of the time, where I get this feeling like, nah, this isn't real. And then I wake up. The creepy thing is that I sometimes get that feeling when I'm awake, and that's a lot more creepy. Because sometimes I just get the feeling like is everything just a dream? Maybe it's the way that I dream sometimes where it's so realistic, but at the same time, even in the dream, even if you can't tell, because your house is never exactly the same in the dream. And I used to have this recurring dream where I would wake up, and this was when I lived in an apartment like 10 years ago, and I would wake up in my bed and everything would seem normal. And even when I woke up, I was like, everything looked almost the same. Like there's something off, something that tells your brain, or something that the brain can't recreate perfectly in a dream. And you're like, you know it's off, but at the same time, you're like, I just woke up. This has to be reality. And then in that same dream, I would like go about my day, go to bed, wake up again, and I would be like, oh, okay, so that was a dream. Now I'm awake. But then I wasn't really awake, and I kept doing this over and over again until I got thrown into a different dream where I don't remember the specifics. I just remember like circus-like, or there were a lot of things going on. And that's when I realized I was dreaming and really woke up. But who's to say if I'm still not in that same dream and it's just been forever. Anyways, yeah, I don't feel like talking about that dream. This I didn't read, so I don't know what this is. Maybe this is the last one. Oh, it is the last one in this document. Okay. So this happened in early this year, which is weird that I don't remember writing it. I don't remember this, at least not the first sentence that I'm looking at right now. So let's see. Tonight I had a strange dream. I don't remember all of it, but what I vividly remember is being in a fake tiny earth. That's the first sentence I read, and I was like, I don't remember that. I don't, usually when you reread a dream, it like pops back images in your head and you can sort of see it. This I don't remember. I was put there after looking at the sky and thinking it was off and not real. All of this comes back to me thinking stuff isn't real. But then in the really fake one, I was like, okay, I get it. This is fake, and so fake on purpose to make the other fake one look real. Ooh, I just got a visual of it. Oh yeah, I remember now. I remember I was in this dream and the small fake earth looked like so fake. It looked like it was made by like a toddler. Like it was very poorly made, like Play-Doh-like, and everything was so tiny that it had to be fake. And then I don't remember what the other one looked like, but realizing that one was fake too is kind of weird. It's weird that I have all these like stuff not being real type of dreams. I'm wondering what part of my brain or what part of my psyche is so concerned with that and what it means. And then, oh yeah, and once again, the way dreams are, I was suddenly in Asia and a really tall building with some girls, and it took us like forever to get down. I don't remember exactly why we went down or how we got there, but it was like such a tall tower that when we eventually got down and I realized I forgot my glasses upstairs, I was like, forget it, I'm not going back. Which to me in a dream is kind of crazy because I don't go anywhere without glasses because I'm so sensitive to like light and stuff. So I always take my glasses with me. But then as I write down here, I don't see where it is, but I realized after being like, okay, it doesn't matter, my glasses was suddenly on my face. Weird. Well, that is all of my dreams. It's not all my dreams, but it's all of the dreams that I've been writing down, and I'm gonna keep writing them down. And if you want another video like this, let me know and maybe I'll make it. As long as I keep remembering to write stuff down as soon as I wake up. And you try it too. See what you can learn. I didn't go in depth into what I think these things mean. I also don't think I realized how big part of most of my dreams is that number one, I'm looking for something, number two, I'm trying to get somewhere, and number three, it doesn't seem real. Those are like the three things that I can tell like keeps looping back. So maybe I need to figure out what it is I'm searching for. It doesn't seem like I know always in the dream either. And where I need to go. Maybe I don't need to go anywhere. Maybe that's why I'm like in that place in between. It's like, I don't need to go anywhere. I don't know. And why stuff doesn't feel real. That one is the one that stumps me because it seems the most important because it keeps coming back. Or it could just be that I'm getting too used to dreaming and I can tell when it's a dream. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching my video and I'll see you next week.